the floor. Only a sophomore. Fun to watch her compete, but it's next player up mentality. A little bit of a shuffle for Iowa State in their starting lineup.
First possession belongs to Iowa State. Both teams with 8 wins apiece. Number 18 versus number 21. It's Addie Brown continually looking into the paint. And Crooks will drain the mid-range.
Come on. That's insane in the mid-range. Crooks is so tough when she leans back. Stolke couldn't have played better defense on that particular play.
Long range for Olsen does not fall. Sydney Falter, no surprise, wiggling her way in.
Good job by both teams starting out in man-to-man defense. See what Iowa can cook up right here on the reset.
Grady setting the screen for Olsen. Olsen well defended, did not matter.
Lucy Olsen, don't sleep on her ability to get a bucket. She has been lights out for Iowa and a reliable piece of production in a very efficient manner. She's not just someone who could pass the ball well.
A little bit of a scramble. Emily Ryan has that blocked. The former Cyclone, Kylie Feuerbach, getting in on the defense.
You don't know what this means for both teams until you see this kind of payback with the block. Feuerbach used to play at Iowa State, as you said. A little extra going on early in this contest for sure.
Feuerbach surrounded by Cyclones. Her mom, her brother, her grandfather played there as well. Spent her freshman season in Ames. The next couple here in Iowa City. Addie Brown straight on, too smooth.
And not the love and basketball follow through. The gooseneck for emphasis. And Iowa was in some zone on that particular play. And what they do well is kick it out and find the open looks like that last one.
Grady tries to keep it in control, but taken away by Emily Ryan, one of the top point guards, not just in the Big 12, but in the country with the ball in her hands. A fifth-year player weaving her way to the rim. She's again denied in the paint. This time, O'Grady says no.
How about Iowa coming into this game with some force and intentionality on the defensive end? And no, ma'am, you can't come in the paint with anything less than that.
Stolen by Hannah Stolke. She's going to try and take it the length, dropping it off to her fellow post player. O'Grady has to go down to the floor to get it. It's a jump ball possession arrow. We'll keep it right here with a little extra physical contact. On the Iowa State sideline, a very familiar face. Also an Iowa native out of Davenport. Bill Fenley in his 30th season. He could likely get to 800 wins this season. He's sitting at 785, third among active head coaches.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, his staff has been together for 15 years, so one of the longest tenured coaching staffs in the country.
This last play is going to take another look, maybe an elbow to the face situation.
Call on the floor is foul on 23 red. That play is under review.
Going to step aside for a moment while this all gets worked out. Iowa State an early lead on the road, 5-2. We're going to play on here with Iowa State an early 5-2 lead, 2 of 4 from the floor. But an example there of, first of all, it is packed to the brim in this arena.
So much.
And even these players not from Iowa, they know the kind of attention and the motion in this series, and I think you see that in that kind of play.
Oh, absolutely, and there's so many little youngsters in here just getting a lot out of it as well.
Emily Ryan giving the Hawkeyes a piece of their own medicine after her shot was blocked a couple possessions ago.
That's a big-time block, and she's not just an assist maker, a playmaker. She can defend very well for the Cyclones from that perimeter position.
Foul is going to go on Iowa. Rather, kicked ball. Addie Brown, so versatile in her sophomore season, trying to get free in the paint. Will drop it off to Crooks, fading away, and it just drops in.
Let me just tell you something. The early lift that Crooks has on her shot is tough to guard, and the soft flick of the wrist, feathery touch off her fingertips. It's just a really beautiful look that she has on her shot mechanics.
One of the big things she worked on this offseason, a counter move against players that are taller than her.
Absolutely, and she's seen all kinds of defensive coverages and schemes, so she's been able to manufacture offense at the same high level of efficiency as last year as a freshman. And she had the big 40 points against Maryland.
Gets free underneath and puts it down. Audie Crooks getting away from the defender.
She was just so tough.
Quick response inside, and a Stolke is fouled.
You can see the Cyclones there having a little communication with one another. That weak side defense wasn't up the line, but look at Crooks getting her position inside, maintaining her contact on that seal, and then taking it to the second side for the flick on the reversal.
And you can see there too, Christy, going one-on-one. They're putting Addie O'Grady out there on an island to try and stop her by herself. Head coach Jan Jensen, the post whisperer, very familiar with Addie Crooks' game, recruited her a ton out of the state of Iowa. She said we're going to throw different things at her, but it's hard to double her with her passing ability too.
She said she has great hands and great feet.
Jan Jensen, her first season on the sideline leading the Iowa Hawkeyes in her 25th year in Iowa City, a native of Kimballton, Iowa. So she goes deep with this history of this series.
We love it. And the fans, they've been waiting for this game all day. I've seen them around the city, just excited.
Brown knocks it down. She has a confident piece of her step on the floor tonight.
Listen, I think somebody on the sideline said something and she just looked at him with the icy stare, and that's what she's all about with her competitive spirit.
And Stolke tries to go downhill. It is knocked away. A jump ball, and possession arrow will keep it right here. You're exactly right. With this Iowa State 10-0 run, we're not privy to what was maybe said there on the sideline, but she had something to say back with her play.
No, it's like hitting a beehive with a stick. You don't want to do that with her because she's gonna light you up. I tell you what, here, coming off that pin down, and then you give her that much space because you're protecting the drive, and then the three goes in.
Iowa responding on the other side to try and get back out of an early deficit here on their home court. 12-4 is now the lead.
And it's got to be done with defense. And Iowa, in their last game, they turned it over 30 times against Tennessee. And Jen Jensen was not pleased with how they closed that game out in terms of not taking good care of the basketball. So it's a double-edged sword. Take care of the basketball and get stops, especially in the paint against Iowa State tonight.
Riley Tanky, another Iowa native, misses from the short corner. Iowa still a team that wants to play with great pace. Stolke been working more from the perimeter, playing the 4 this season as opposed to the 5. Was looking for the freshman Ava Hayden, but it was kicked.
Yeah, and Hannah Stolke, she's 2 of 12 from 3 this season, and she's trying to extend that range. She's a junior this year, so just trying to stack on some aspects of her skill set this year.
Lucy Olson, beautiful long range too.
Well, it was the screens for me. On the out-of-bounds under, if you can manufacture 8 to 10 points there, you'll be in business.
The step back blocks, but it stays Cyclone possession, and free throws coming up here for the Cyclones, and Elisa Williams getting some early action. The foul on Ava Hayden.
Williams, great step-through move there, trying to complete that play. She spent her freshman season at LSU, won a championship there a couple of seasons ago, redshirted last year. And she is a great asset for the Cyclones this year, taking a lot of pressure off of that interior scoring.
It's an example of this Iowa State team that there are 11 players playing at least 10 minutes per contest. They have their big 3 of Crooks, Ryan, and Brown, but it has basically, from the beginning, been a wide-open competition. Coach Fenley says, make me play you. And it might just be trying to find the right combinations at the right times because no one's really seized that role.
Yeah, I mean, what a challenge that is to your character. Make me play you. I mean, any competitor that hears that, they're going to buckle down, get in a stance, and flat out hoop. And you love that kind of challenge of the character. I mean, Iowa State returned 6 players. 3 of them are on multiple watch lists this season, the big 3, if you will, and they just have that balance and that culture. They want to take it another step in the NCAA tournament this year.
Going to O'Grady in the post, she'll drop it off. Tegan Mullaney not able to convert with the reverse layup attempt.
That was a good take. You see what you can get. You just have to complete the play.
Audie Crooks, a 3-point play opportunity coming up, and she is taking over this game.
You just can't do anything with Crooks inside if you're going to individually cover her, but also you got to take care of the offensive glass too. But right here, just a smooch off the window and some passion behind it. The and one opportunity. You have to guard her early and take away the spots that she wants. She gets you buried down inside that restricted area that's non-existent in women's basketball, although it is on the floor. So for marking sake, if she has you pinned down in there, that's a wrap.
Crooks 4 for 4 from the floor. She talked to us today about all the work she does before she gets the ball, too. It is more than just her strength and size. Here's Olsen, and that will rattle in.
Olsen has been a key component of offense for the Iowa Hawkeyes so far. How can they get stops?
She has all 8 of the Hawkeye points. For always a 3-point for a cold start to the year, though. Look at that move from Crooks. Doesn't fall this time, but well within her bag. The foul will go against Iowa State.
Well, you can see the defense that Iowa is trying to play. Trying to do that 2-step dance and try to stay loose. I think they need to bring another body to her and make them make you pay from the outside. And Crooks is a great playmaker. She can pass well out of those double teams, but it's almost like an auto double team. Like, don't wait for her to put it on the deck because she's going to turn and shoot it, but crowd her space on the catch and then see what happens.
Iowa State as a team shooting 33% lower than where they'd like to be, on paper lower than where you'd expect them to be as well. Here's Olsen. Leaves that one short. Heidenstein for that offensive rebound. Bierbach, no good on the 3 attempt. And it will stay here with the Hawkeyes.
A good hustle by both teams trying to corral that rebound, but for Iowa, I mean, those spray outs off of offensive rebounds, that might be an option for them, but Iowa State is just so scrappy with it.
Good awareness by Olsen, and count it down low. Taylor Stremlow with a 3-point play opportunity.
How do you like that? The connectivity after this scrappy 50-50 opportunity for Iowa. Put the ball downstairs, smooch it off the glass for the and one for the home team.
3 freshmen on the floor for the Hawkeyes. All standing there at the free throw line. Hayden, Stremlow, and Mullaney having a big impact on this team early in their careers. The first class for the Hawkeyes, 4 top 100 recruits, and counted on in this big series. Poked away. The freshman Mullaney comes away with it. Jumping it off to Stremlow. The fast break not there. A whistle as Brown was jumping for that ball.
She just found herself too far under the rim on that fast break opportunity, but you see the pace that Iowa wants to play with. I mean, they've been averaging over 80 points for the last 5 seasons, and that has not changed this year. They want to push tempo.
This is a team, they're not going to be scoring 90 like they have in the last couple of years. Jan Jensen says they want to be a more well-rounded team, but still, Chrissy, they're 21st in points per scoring attempt, 22nd in effective field goal percentage. This is still a team that can score in a hurry.
Right, 19.5 assists this season as well for the Hawkeyes.
Hattie Brown on fire to start this game for the Cyclones. She's got 9 now on 3 of 4 from the floor.
She's just cold with those threes in this game, and you can't be late. You can't be a beat late on your coverages. You can't overhelp.
Crooks called for the foul against Hannah Stolke, trying to post her up. Those two go back to their AAU days here in Iowa.
Well, what can Brown do for you? She can do 3 things. Knock in triples, and that's her 3rd one. She has been lights out from range, and she is telling people here about that too. I'm not mad at her. She has been on it.
Look at her improvement in her efficiency this season. It also includes 39% from beyond the arc as well as Stolke good on her first free throw. But something you hear from Coach Fenley, he wants Addie Brown to look for her shot more. She is so skilled, plays so hard, can impact the games in so many ways. They actually want her to just take more shots.
Yeah. And Addie Brown is tied with Crooks coming into this game with 9 blocks. So it's not just her offensive prowess that she brings to the floor that impacts the team in a positive way. She's D'ing it up.
Stolke getting on the board. Too wide open for Brown. Almost had to check for a defender. Yeah. Can't knock it down. Jones can't put it away. Through Crooks' hands. The battle on the floor will result in a feisty jump ball.
Everybody's on the ground for it. 50-50 opportunity. You better not just lean down to get it. You better put your body on the deck and fight for what you want. And both teams are showing that grit, that commitment to grit. And that's what it takes to win games.
Addie Brown. Wilson will swing. The ball moving around the perimeter, 5 to shoot. It is Crooks getting the upper hand. The foul called with Stolke bodying her up. That's the first on Stolke.
Well, what you can't do if you're Hannah Stolke is sit straight behind. And if you do, just wall up, turn around, box out. Because once you break that principle of verticality, you're in trouble. She already has the position on you, so it's almost like just play it safe. And get both arms in the air and turn and put a body on.
Because Crooks does her work so early, it is hard to avoid just being buried under the net.
It is. I mean, in that regard, she reminds me a lot of Megan Gustafson, a player who was the all-time leading scorer here at Iowa. Just did the work early. But Jan Jensen, she focused in on all of those mechanics. Post play 101.
Crooks 0 for 4. I think that 0 for 3 from the free throw line. She nabs that rebound.
Something that she's been trying to improve upon. 65% free throw shooter is Crooks.
Stolen away. Here's Stolke taking it herself for 2. Jones, this is everything, and the bench fired up with that defense on the Hawkeye sideline.
Well, Iowa has gotten themselves back into this game because of their scrappy defensive energy and attention to detail. Hannah Stolke was a track star, and you saw it on that particular play. And look at, take that charge, why don't you? Take one for the team. Get your body established, get it squared up, and take the hit. Nice defense the last couple of possessions for the home team here.
That's now 2 personals on Brown. Second leading scorer on this team. Feuerbach getting the step, but can't put it down.
That's the second time she's been a little bit too far under the rim, but you love that explosive first step.
Feuerbach whistled for the foul. Jensen, not a fan. That'll be the first on Feuerbach, trying to keep pace with Wilson.
You can see the clear frustration by Jan Jensen right there. She's saying, we need to see that same call on the other side.
Both teams in the bonus, so 2 free throws here for the freshman Reagan Wilson.
Let's take a look right here. She had the hand on the hip. That's the second touch. It's the second touch. It's automatic, right? You have that one hot stove measure up touch. That next one, automatic whistle.
Gathered up by Stolke. Much better response by Iowa. Trailed by as many as 10 points. Mulaney put it on the deck, and she will draw a foul. It's going to be the second on. It's going to be the first on Wilson, rather.
Nice attack of the cup, and that's what Iowa needs to continue to do. Put pressure on the interior defense of Iowa State.
Mulaney, no good on the first.
Yeah, both teams struggling early from the free throw line.
3 of 6 for Iowa, 2 of 7 for the Cyclones.
Another miss.
Spoke too soon.
Well, you don't want to leave those opportunities, those are possessions from the free throw line.
Through 2 defenders, Crooks earns herself a trip to the charity stripe.
She just keeps the ball so high, right? And again, if you're out of position, you can't come down on that basketball. See if Crooks can pay it off from the line this time after missing her last 2. The last time she stepped up there.
So for 3, in fact, 4 of 5 from the floor, 8 points, a fantastic start. And you can see more bodies surrounding her on that throw inside the paint.
Yeah, no question. It needs to be like that. Miss, wow. I mean, it might not feel like anything right now, these free throw misses, but guess what? The last 2 minutes of the game, you're going to look back and say, we left a lot of meat on the bone early.
1 for 5 now for Crooks, who this season, 65% from the free throw line. .130 remaining in this first quarter. Iowa battling back on their home court in this top 25 battle. Cynthia Falter still trying to find her offense this season. Underwent a knee procedure just coming in. It was such a lightning rod at the end of last year.
Yeah, just 4 points a game.
Beautiful offense by the Hawkeyes, post to post, and Stolke finishes. Wilson gonna reset, waiting for a screen from Crooks, leaving her open, can't knock down the jet.
Stolke's motor on the glass is unmatched. We spoke about that.
McKay dialing up a 3, that's left short. She is lethal from long range, and a quick opportunity on the other side will not fall for Jackson and the Cyclones.
Credit Hannah Stolke for disrupting the foot rhythm there, and the mechanics to pay that fast break opportunity off for the Cyclones. Good hustle to get back. She could have just jogged back and say, go ahead. She said, no, it's going to be tough.
Jackson heard those footsteps.
Yeah, she heard them and felt them.
10 to shoot for Olsen. Falter thought about that 3. Now she's stuck.
She can't kill that dribble.
1 second left for a Falter. She won't get it off in time, so a turnover for the Hawkeyes, their 2nd today. So final opportunity of this first quarter for the Cyclones. 12.3 seconds left. Brown with 2 fouls, checks back in.
Really good connectivity. Saw Iowa out of the gates a little slow offensively, but with that fire on the defensive end and got things going. Just a 1-possession contest right now.
Ryan bringing it into the front court. 5 seconds to shoot. Now in the hands of Crooks. She'll put it on the floor. Broken up. Ryan will travel. 0.6 to go.
That's what you call gap discipline defensively by Iowa. Didn't allow any crevice of space to attack in the paint. Close those elbows off.
That's the end of the first quarter here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. An electric crowd, an electric rivalry as well. 20-17 is the lead for number 18, Iowa State, as we head to the second quarter here in Iowa City.
And right now, Iowa's up 2, but they're losing in the game.
See the numbers for a couple star players in this matchup. Iowa State, players other than Crooks and Brown, 0 for 6 from the field.
A little zone here by Iowa State.
They'll swing it. Feuerbach, wide open look. She can't knock it down, but flying for that 4 is Stolke. It's knocked out of bounds, but staying right here with 17 to shoot.
Well, I love how Iowa set the screen on that high side elbow to free Feuerbach for that 3-point shot attempt, and then Stolke all over the offensive boards.
Olsen gonna reset, swinging to Feuerbach.
Somebody needs to get that high post area just to kind of relieve the reversals.
Another wide open look for Feuerbach. No good that time. It brought down by Crooks. Feuerbach now 0 for 4 from the floor.
You put more pressure on zone defenses by cashing it in on the interior and getting touches in there rather than just pulling threes.
Make that 0 for 5 for Feuerbach. From the high post, here's Crooks backing down O'Grady. That help comes. She gets even deeper, and that's how she operates.
Trouble. That's trouble. What a spectacular repost and great positioning right there to keep the angle necessary to finish the way that she did. Nicely executed.
That is patience and that is IQ by Crooks at the 5. Iowa looks like they're still feeling out this zone defense. Getting just a little sliver of space is O'Grady, but kept alive by Stolke.
Tried to tackle on the interior, which is what you want to see. Got to test it. See what they do.
Quick ball movement. The 3 for a falter doesn't go. And it looks like Iowa State is saying, we're challenging you to knock down a 3.
Yep. But you can't fall for that. You can't take shots that your opponents want you to take. You got to take the shots that you would like to take.
Iowa 0 for 9 from 3. On the fast break, it is Olsen over 3 jerseys of the opposing color, knocking it down from the mid-range.
Yeah, stop and pop. Right there in the slot area at mid-post. Olsen has been so good in this game in terms of her shot selection. And obviously her efficiency from the offensive side of things.
Offensive foul goes on Addie Brown. That is her 3rd.
And that defense, though, we're talking about Hannah Stolke sliding those puppies and sitting in a stance, taking the hit, and hanging the 3rd foul. Look at this repost here with Crooks. She got it, and now she's going to sit further down. Oh, my goodness. Nothing you can do when you are planted under the basket like that, except for try to step away and step around, but she just has such a solid base. That makes it even tougher to do.
Crooks and Brown checking out.
Let's see if Iowa can get back on top here because of those 2 being off the floor.
Along the baseline, excellent playmaking by Stremlo, but Olsen can't put it through.
Nice slip cut there from the nail, which is right the B1G logo underneath the free throw line.
There have been some tough breaks offensively for the Hawkeyes. They're shooting 33% from the floor, yet only trailed by 3.
Well, they're right there trying to stay connected on that screen.
Ryan
Double dribble. Okay,
travels.
Yeah.
8 turnovers now for the Cyclones.
Really good feisty defense, staying connected over top. Not just switching or giving it to the next player on a switch.
Just a bucket on either side to start this 2nd quarter after a really hot first for both of these teams.
We've seen a defensive battle in the opening part of the 2nd quarter.
McCabe will be shooting at 3. The first foul going on Lily Hansford.
Yeah, those screens are being set against Iowa State's zone. And then now you're trying to hard recover. Let's take a look at that. So there's a little screen by Stolke, and now you're trying to hurry up and recover because you're already a step behind because of that little rub screen that Stolke set there at the elbow.
And that's the kind of attention that McCabe, the junior from Nebraska, draws along the 3-point line. 46% this season, 45% for her career. 72 of her career 75 baskets are 3s.
Hey, well, sometimes the stats and the analytics tell the story, right?
Don't have to dig very deep for that one.
No, not too far. She's a feisty defender, too, and I love watching her work defensively. And Iowa State, they've found a little anemic portion of their offensive production lately.
Very hot start for the Cyclones, led by 10 in the 1st quarter. Mulaney will be called for the foul.
And there's that switch. Last time they stayed over top of that screen. That time they switched. But if you're going to switch, you have to be in a stance and be ready to slide. You can't wall up right there with an active dribble.
That's the 2nd on Mulaney. And O'Grady will check in for her. Wilson looking for some help. It doesn't come in time.
Look at Lucy Olsen smiling about that, like, yeah. We didn't let them get what they wanted.
This is an Iowa team taking so much pride in their defense. Their opponents scoring just 60 points per game. That's the best in at least the Her Hoop Stats era, which goes back to 2009-2010. And it feels like a new era for this team with the emphasis they're putting defensively for sure.
No question about it. They've forced 9 turnovers so far.
Olsen knocks down another mid-range. Down into Crooks, has the angle, can't finish against O'Grady. One more try, and she'll head back to the free throw line, where today she's 1 of 5.
Well, the toughest thing to do is contest a shot on the interior and then box out. I mean, it sounds like, you know, coaches that coach for a long time, it's like box out. But it happens so quickly, and as a player, I'm like, I know what I need to do, but it's so quick.
And you think you've done your job. They missed.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
That's not over. Till you have that basketball in your hands, baby, you have to get a body on and maintain that contact. Can't just look and see if that's a made or a missed shot.
Makes her first. See her line there. 5 of 7 from the floor, goes 1 for 2.
I mean, she's averaging 20 and 8 per contest. The sophomore. She was AP honorable mention All-American as a freshman last year.
Goes through the legs of Stolke. She dives on it. And a jump ball will send things the other direction.
You got to give her an A for effort, trying to recover the possession. Even though it's a jump ball. Didn't quit on the play, but let's see if Iowa State can come down here and get something offensively. It seemed a little disjointed on the offensive end in the second quarter so far.
You look at their two-time All-Big 12 point guard, Emily Ryan. She has 4 turnovers. It feels like she hasn't really found a groove, and that's affecting the offense as well.
No question.
Cross-court pass almost stolen by Olsen. Iowa flying all over the place defensively. Ryan hounded by Feuerbach, not finding any space. Crooks bails them out, fading away in the paint.
I think the fans here wanted to travel on that one, but Crooks is just with that wry smile like, no, it was clean.
Falter knocks down the 3, her first. And the first for the Hawkeyes after starting 0 for 9. The response is there, knocked down by Sydney Harris.
She transferred from TCU. Light it up.
3 in a row. These teams lighting up Carver Hawkeye Arena. It is a 3-point shootout in this rivalry matchup. Here is Ryan taking it to the cup.
Well, Emily Ryan may have needed that to get her motor going for Iowa State. I mean, her assist-to-turnover ratio is magnificent, 2 for her career.
Olsen can't stick it. That's 12 points to lead her team. Ryan thought about taking it once more. Crooks looking for her first 3 of the season. It won't go.
Yeah, 0 for 4 coming into this game from 3 for Crooks. She's not afraid to let it fly from there.
Falter, full head of steam. Can't knock it down. Oh, and it's poked away. Stolke sticking with the play. And it'll stay here.
Well, it has been completely raining threes from Carver Hawkeye Arena for both teams, knocking them down, snuggling them home in the nets. It's a 3-ball party here in Iowa City. But every home game was sold out last year here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. This one completely sold out all the way up to the rafters, standing room only, I see at the top here. And for Caitlin Clark to be the only other basketball player besides LeBron James to earn that honor as Sportswoman of the Year, kudos. Hats off.
It's great to see that continuing here in Iowa City. General public seating sold out in September for the 2nd straight year. Today, 14,998, a sellout for this rivalry battle.
Beautiful.
Only Ryan off the quick take.
Nice give and go, just trying to find some connectivity and taking some of the pressure off of Ryan to be a playmaker and let her make plays.
Especially with Addie Brown on the bench with 3 personal fouls. She has 9 points, but limited minutes in this first half, and they're going to need their 5th year.
Well, especially with a lot of turnovers. Look at Ryan right there, taking that little back cut, finishing with that left hand on the left side, and she may need to do more of that, especially with the foul trouble with Brown on the bench.
Comes free from Stolke. She's trying to hand it off to Olsen. Great defense by the Cyclones. Ryan wants to be a head coach someday, surveying this defense. Poked away by Olsen. Fantastic defense by the transfer from Villanova.
Ryan has just had such a difficult time trying to make plays because of the defense.
Stolke surrounded. Yes, from 3 for Sydney Falter.
Falter, a 29% shooter from range. Got that one on the spray out, and that's what Iowa has always done so well. Those spray out threes. If the offensive board defense is not set up.
Kelsey Jones in trouble into the starting lineup in the absence of Kenzie Hare, who was out for the season with a hip issue.
Look at the defense turning into offense. Strimlo was going to come in and pick up a little extra right there, that deflection by Lucy Olsen up top. And then 3 bodies down inside around Hannah Stolke, and the awareness and the execution on the spray out, top tier.
On the baseline, out of bounds, Jones, high off glass for 2.
Nicely executed there by Iowa State, just trying to chip away at it.
Stremlau, what a dish. That is not a freshman play.
She has some holes in her pocket right there, dropping dimes all over the place in the paint. Oh my goodness.
Leah Guyton, another freshman for the Hawkeyes, new into this contest as we approach 2 minutes remaining before halftime. A top 25 matchup here in Iowa City.
Both teams playing at a highly efficient level. 10 assists for Iowa State, 8 assists for Iowa, both on 13 made shots.
And a travel will be the 12th turnover this half for the Cyclones. This is a team that is 12th in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio.
Well, not tonight, because Iowa has flipped the script on that, a little jump to cover up that gap, but there was a travel prior to. Now, Iowa has scored 10 points off of those turnovers, so it's not dead ball turnovers. They're forcing live ball opportunities and turning them into easy offense on the other end.
Falter turning on the Jets. It's Guyton for 3. She's got it. First lead of the game for the Hawkeyes into Crooks. The response is there in the paint.
And she even had help side too, and it didn't matter. She's just so flat out tough.
McCabe, quick trigger, misses everything. Tracked down by Stremlau. Stremlau tight roping the baseline, leading O'Grady. She can't knock it down. And Crooks found going for that rebound. It'll be the first on Stremlau.
Iowa has gotten this game all knotted up because of paint 3 opportunities. Sydney Falter, a nice spray out opportunity there, getting a piece of the paint, kicking it out to Guyton. And then look at this defense all over the place. It didn't matter. It's almost like she's alone down in there. She is just so dominating and forceful with her effectiveness right there at the cup.
She's 5th in the nation, getting 15 points in the paint per game. There was just hard to find an answer for her, and certainly in this game, she's got 16 points, and this first half could have been more, but she's 2 of 7 from the foul line.
Absolutely. And she is terrorizing the interior for the Cyclones.
Hansford, close defense along the perimeter. Jones with 10 to shoot against Feuerbach.
Look at Stolke just trying to crowd the space of Crooks inside, and now she's behind her.
Quick swing, it's Jones for 3. She drains it. Iowa State is 5 of 6 for beyond the arc.
That family legacy running deep and running through the nets from range.
6 seconds separating shot and game clock. These teams exchanging blows in this first half.
This game has been what we thought it would be, this rivalry, not just between these 2 teams, but between the two conferences, Big 12 and Big 10 as well.
A falter, Sets is blocked by Hansford. Superb defense along the perimeter. It'll be Jackson for three. That is how the first half will end. Entertaining, exciting, and fierce amongst these rivals. 39-36, the Cyclones on top.
Now, how much fun are we having? And just amazing energy from both teams. The back and forth affair.
Three-point test coming up.
How about that? Rub your hands together and beat the chest and go out and hoop. That's what he's saying, basically, with that statement.
We've got a great one here in Iowa City as well. The final 8 minutes of that first half, within 4 points on either side, going back and forth.
Some zone again by Iowa State, trying to clog that middle.
Well read by Lucy Olson, just reacting to what she was seeing from that zone defense.
To no avail. I mean, that's 14 paint points now for Iowa. Iowa State sitting with 18 scored inside the painted area. That's what you want to attack the zone. Again, you don't want to settle for those threes all the time. You want to collapse that defense on the inside.
Brooks picking up her dribble, 10 to shoot. She'll throw it up, a wild shot, and more lockdown defense by the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, nobody relocated on the strong side for Crooks to be able to have some relief there. You got to get into her eyesight and give her some relief so she doesn't have to force a shot like that.
Iowa was a little slow to react to seeing this zone the first time in the first half. Almost a turnover. Ryan stepping in, and she is whistled for a foul. Just her first.
And Ryan was trying to make a play on the basketball. Anna Stolke just trying to save the possession for her team. See, the pass was a little behind her by Lucy Olson, and Ryan gets a piece of the body.
So a fresh 20 to work with for the Hawkeyes, who caught fire from three-point line at the end of the first half. Olson, with that nasty move, can't knock it down, but staying here with Iowa.
The snatchback was like that. Oh, my goodness. Lucy Olson dug that one out of the crates.
Hey, she deserves credit for the handle that she has at tight spaces, loves to work in the paint. And she is fouled by Jackson.
I deserve credit for leaning on you and you not allowing me to fall when she did that snatchback because, listen, oh my goodness. Whew. Now, we've seen some really great hoops, and you're looking at this Iowa team, obviously, without Caitlin Clark on the floor this season. It makes a big difference in terms of schematically what they see defensively and really fighting against this zone. They saw a lot of pressure from Tennessee.
Falter, no good from three, ripped down by Jackson.
A lot of full court press in that Tennessee game against Iowa. They lost that game by 10 with those 30 turnovers.
That's something that they said. That was just not a display of who we are as a team, how good we are now, and how good we can be. We're not going to see a team with their hockey line changes like Tennessee, but we expect to be better. Picking up where she left off, Audie Crooks dominating the paint once more.
Just take a look. I mean, she's so patient with it. She surveys. Let me get a better angle with it. And then go to work. Put the ball on the deck and go right to the rack. I mean, that's just a big-time play by just a sophomore. I mean, I remember back in the day we had this drill one-on-one posting, and that's what we had to do. There were 3 passers at the top and at the foul line extended, and we would go for minutes at a time and just trying to get the proper angle, and she did that exceptionally well on that play.
Deep post up for O'Grady, who responds on the other side. She was able to bury Crooks there.
Sometimes you have to do what you don't like done to you, right? And so it's a little payback in the paint. We said it was going to be a battle in there, and it has been that.
O'Grady for the Hawkeyes, 3 years average, 3 points per game now, up over 15 points per game. We'll take more from her in the post today. Here's Ryan, no good from 3. I think I may have seen a flopping warning on the other side during that play as well.
Addie O'Grady, patient, getting it back out, getting deeper with her seal, and paying it off with a little flip over the front of the rim. And look at that. I love the fear backers in her face on the way back saying that's the way to do it. That's what we need from you. And that's the kind of energy giving that team sports is supposed to be about, right? We score.
Big lob inside to Crooks, and she finishes.
Get the ball nice and high. It's the smile for me when she does something well for the team. She runs back with so much joy. She knows she's helping the team, and she is thrilled that she is able to do it in that way. I love that.
It was just a lob from Harris telling Crooks, go get it, and she does the job.
She has mitts. Just throw it in her direction. She's going to bring it home.
Olsen working through a screen and roll. O'Grady keeps it alive. Wide open Stremlow. Can't make the Cyclones pay. Tracked down by Ryan.
See, Hannah Stuelke was trying to get that. She has had several deflections, keeping the play.
Again, Crooks unstoppable. One-on-one.
And then she had that furrowed brow on the way back on that one. Like, I didn't think on that. You thought you were going to stop me on that? So it was a smile and then that. I love it. A little bit of both.
Feuerbach can't knock it down from three. You like how demonstrative Crooks is? You had Rye's smile.
Yeah.
That just now, too.
Oh, she's fierce. I mean, it all boils down to her being a fierce competitor. And she's just having fun with it.
Keep beating Crooks. Read well by O'Grady, stripping her. And then poking it away. O'Grady says, you're not going to keep getting the better of me.
Right. I'm still right here. But Crooks is continuing to do her damage on the interior. Look at that little flip and kept that contact, a little roll. And look at that smile, like, yeah, baby, yeah, you can't stop me. That confidence is showing and shining through for the sensational sophomore.
23 points, 10 of 14 from the floor. So O'Grady snatches it away for the Hawkeyes. This will be a time with Crooks on the bench where Iowa will want to do some damage. And Jan Jensen absolutely apoplectic over on the sideline.
She was incensed by that. There was a clear push prior to Lucy Olsen catching that pass.
Both her and Olsen have been making their...
Let's take a look right here. It's just, yeah, contact and extension right there on the push-off.
Quick underneath, Stuelke.
Stuelke getting activated for the Iowa Hawkeyes on the inside. And you can feel the crowd wants a couple more momentum plays like that.
Feuerbach now whistled for the personal. That is her second.
Well, when you can execute your out-of-bounds under and set and use proper screens, a little diagonal screen, nobody was there to switch it, and the recovery was late. Nicely executed there by Iowa. Let's see what they can do here defensively. They did a terrific job there in the second quarter defensively. Tied the ball game up because of their efforts there.
Still not seeing Addie Brown, who played only 9 minutes in the first half. 9 points for her in just 9 minutes in the first half. Feed inside to Williams, knocked away. Ryan again, trying to find some space along the baseline. 5 to shoot, and she will turn it over, her 7th of this game.
I don't know if I've ever seen her turn the ball over the way that she has in this game, and credit Iowa's fierce defensive attention to detail on her and taking away her tendencies and making her uncomfortable. And it has been a chaotic energy that has been surrounding her defensively all evening long here.
Quick rip and go for Stuelke. Don't count the baskets. A foul before. They'll go on Sydney Harris.
Jan Jensen wanted that bucket back so bad. She was like,
that's the floor.
She was down. She was in a stance over there like, oh my goodness, that's what we want for Hannah Stuelke, to get it, rip and go and get downhill and finish like that. The foul is on the floor.
That's what they've been able to unlock in Stuelke with her versatility, her speed, and the skill that she has now, moving from the 5 to the 4 this season.
She's been freed up.
Getting downhill is Olsen, and she earns a trip to the free throw.
She just serpentined her way downhill there, split the wickets of defenders on that second line, and created that contact.
Assistant coach Abby Stamp said that Lucy has a switch where it's like, no one's scoring, I'm just going to go get this done. I'm going to go take it myself. And I felt that energy from her in this game. a team high 14.7 of 14 shooting. She's locked in to try and score.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, she has been the key for Iowa. And she had all 8 of the points out of the gates for the Hawkeyes, but she just plays with such a moxie about her. She just understands her assignment. She's understanding of her role, even though this is her first year here in Iowa.
She took over at Villanova as the leading scorer after Maddie Siegrist went to the WNBA, doing that here with a big load to shoulder offensively after Caitlin Clark, but you see the confidence she's playing with and confidence of this defense too.
Well, she's an energy giver. I mean, she ran over to high-five her teammates before they inbounded the ball. I mean, that's the kind of player coaches love. And it's not coaches have favorites. Coaches love energy givers, and she is that.
15 turnovers for the Cyclones, then another turnover for the Hawkeyes, and then a foul. But we have a 2-point game here in Iowa City. Midway through the third quarter, it's Iowa State by 2. But still a starter on this team that they're going to have to continue to find more production off the bench.
Yeah, early on this season against USC Upstate, she had 4 of 7 from 3, so another viable offensive weapon for them on the sideline.
Tonight, it's been Audie Crooks running the show. 25 points to go along with 7 rebounds. She's 11 of 15. It's been just like that over and over again against this Hawkeye defense.
Just great hands and feet inside, and yeah.
Offensive foul going the other way, called on Stolke.
You can see Stolke was just trying to get downhill, but there was someone in the way, and you can't move him. Maybe stop and take that shot instead. That was good defense right there, and she just kind of leveled them and dislodged and displaced the defense, who was in legal guarding position there. So Stolke, you know that she can get activated and get downhill, but she can't force it if it's not there, right? So she's got to make better reads and be more poised.
It looked like Jackson of Des Moines really making the adjustment, trying to cut off that angle too. Here's Jackson. There's a lot of pride of coming from the Des Moines Public School District out of Roosevelt High School. Cyclone in her blood. The lob inside with 5 to shoot, blocked by Hayden on the attempt by Crooks.
Good job. She was dancing down in there, stayed loose, and was able to deflect it up top.
Fenley still has not brought Addie Brown back into the game. Picked up 3 personals in the first half as Olsen tries to go back to work in the mid-range. It bounces out.
But they're still holding the lead. I bet if it was the other way around and they were down 4, I bet she would be right on the court. But he's playing it smart, I think, right now. Trusting who's out there.
Thinking this one's going to go down to the wire.
Absolutely.
Ball goes out of bounds. We're staying here. Tegan Mulaney will check in for Taylor McCabe for Iowa.
If it comes down to it, we were talking about the free throws for both teams. 74% for Iowa, 75% coming into this one for Iowa State, but both teams really struggling from the line. So if it comes down to that, Sloan, mark my words on that.
Millie Hansford knocks down the 3, and boy, did she need that. Had been 1 of 21 this season, even after shooting 45% last year at Oregon State. Love to see that go down for her, who's been so cold to start this year. Yeah,
you know, it's a mental barrier sometimes. You know that you put the work in, but sometimes you just need to see it go in.
Lucy Olsen is just so in rhythm off the bounce in the mid-range.
She has just been outrageously efficient in this game and has brought that experience to the floor.
Right, Christy, 50% shooting, 18 points. Here is Hansford looking for back-to-back, not that time. Look at Olsen battling. She is all over the floor.
Look at the swarming defense by Iowa. They're just everywhere on time.
10 to shoot here for Wilson. And the Cyclones, Tanky for 3, knocks it down. That is 7 for the Cyclones on 10 attempts. Addie Brown absolutely fired up for this Iowa State team, now leading 54-46, in control here in the third.
Hansford, the recipient of a great pass right there. It didn't complicate things. The lefty drops that one home from range. And then here's this last one, Levin, levitating from range for the Cyclones. Bench up.
boards as well. You know what's interesting? She had been shooting 80% at the rim at home, just 44% away from Hilton Coliseum, and that certainly is going to skew those stats with how she's playing here in Iowa City.
Yeah, no question about it, but I mean, she is a problem. And when I say that in the most positive way. I mean, she is so tough to guard, and you picked your poison with her. There she goes again. Now that weak side came over, but she's right there to finish.
Even with the block, she sticks with it. Mulaney was right there with the help.
She was. She's just so quick with her reactions, and her hands are great.
Completely unfazed by getting blocked. She's got set 27 points. There's a 3 knocked down for Feuerbach. That is her first to go. It started 0 for 6 overall from the field.
She's only shooting 23% from range coming into this game. So, again, to see the grid come off of it and see it go through, it changes the dynamic of your competitive fight.
Backdoor cut, hands forward, is stuffed.
Well, this is why you play defense on a string. If you're Iowa, this is the 7th block shot. Clean up top, sending it back. And then set a little something, and then, yeah, tagging the teammates. It's an all-together situation defensively tonight for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Ava Hyden, the highest-ranked post player to play under Jensen, as Hansford can't convert at the rim, igniting a fast break for the Hawkeyes. A falter from deep long range, it's good. In the final minutes. Hansford can't knock it down. Taken by Feuerbach.
A solid momentum shifting opportunity. We're on the precipice of that right here to close this quarter for the Hawkeyes.
Significant possession here for Iowa. 9 seconds differentiating shot game clock.
See how they dissect this zone.
Foul away from the ball. Gonna go on Jackson of the Cyclones.
But in the transition game, right? That's the best time to find your threes. Everyone else for Iowa State sunken into the defense, helping too deep inside. And that 3 falls in easily.
6-0 run for the Hawkeyes. And here comes for the first time this quarter, Addie Brown, the all-Big 12 selection last season as a freshman, scored 9 points in 9 minutes in the first half, and we have not seen her since.
Yeah, remember, like you said, on that Big 12 all-rookie team last season, on the Katrina McLean watch list, is only a sophomore.
Picked up 3 personals in that first half that limited her. We were speculating maybe Coach Fenley just being conservative, playing with a lead and trying to save her minutes down the stretch late.
Well, it was smart that he put her in because now they're on defense. I mean, I'm sorry, they're on offense going back and not on defense to save her from maybe picking up a cheap one. She made all of her threes, Brown did, in that first half.
Shot clock is off here to close this third quarter for the Cyclones. Set play for Brown. Can't knock it down. Feuerbach takes a look, and we will head to the fourth quarter. Again, a 1-possession game. Number 18 versus number 21, but a rivalry at that. There are 7 Iowa natives on both sides combined. It means a lot to these sides, the Cyclones and Hawkeyes battling down late.
Has been lights out. As soon as that basketball comes into her, she knows exactly what to do with it, and it's going straight up. 12 of 18 from the floor coming into this game, shooting 58% from the floor, the same as last year as a freshman. But to offset that, Iowa has knocked in their threes. 6 of 12 after starting the game 0 for 9. So, I mean, the math is mathing for Iowa right now.
It's quite a turnaround as now Iowa drops into a zone.
2-3 zone, and Iowa showed that a little in that first half. Just trying to mix it up and keep Iowa State off balance. You just need a couple stops. It looks like there's almost a double dribble there up top.
O'Grady met by the brick wall of Crooks.
Well, drop coverage there on Hannah Stuelke, trying to bait her into pulling from range. She stayed disciplined, though.
Stagnant here in the half court for the Hawkeyes. Olsen will put it into her own hands. The mid-range doesn't fall.
Iowa had done a really good job of screening against the weak side of the zone. You didn't see that on that possession. You got to get to the second side or the third side of the basket, right? Get to the right wing, get to the left wing, and massage that zone down, and then attack it in the middle.
Henke working from the high post. Trying to move it around the perimeter, but the ball moving slowly here. Now 3 to shoot for Brown, who just has to throw it up. Excellent defense by the Hawkeyes.
Again.
Olsen lobbing it into O'Grady, the post player running the floor. She can't convert.
Too bad. She had great positioning in there, but just lost where exactly she was inside.
O'Grady, a 70% shooter this season, 1 for 5 from the floor.
Trying to set that screen to free Crooks.
There she has it deep. She can't convert, but she took a shot to the face. She's on the floor and hasn't gotten up. It's 5-on-4 for the Hawkeyes. And Feuerbach nets the 3. Crooks is asking for a sub. She can't see.
She didn't even make it down to the other side there. Hopefully everything is okay.
Checking in Elisa Williams, and Crooks clearly in pain. Looks like she took a shot to the eye, and that stings.
Let's take a look at that last play. She was the recipient of that weak side screen, and it was after the fact. Right there. Oh, yeah. O'Grady got her on her right eye.
Play on the Iowa State end is under review.
We're going to step aside. A tie game at 56. The last play under review. We'll sort it out when we come back.
Observed intentional foul.
After review
That is
of the play, 44 White is being assessed an intentional foul for contact to the face of Iowa State player.
And you're right, Chrissy. That is significant when this is a tie game.
How about that? And then you get the possession.
Hopefully we will see Crooks back on the floor. She has 27 points on 12 of 19 shooting, 9 rebounds as well. Her 5th 20-point game this season. It will be Emily Ryan, who has not shot a free throw yet today at the line, but she is one of the all-time greats in Cyclone history, over 88% for her career.
100% this season.
Streak of 25 straight free throws, going back to the NCAA tournament last year.
My bad. I said it was 100. I felt it after I said it too. I'm like, she's good. Well, here we go. But they get the ball back now, so let's see if they can gain some ground after that turn of events with the 2 free throws and the possession, and Crooks at the table to check back in.
Deep post up inside. Brown will finish. She is dabbled with playing the 5 in relief of Crooks, and she's nifty down low.
Absolutely, and all it is positioning, right? Get your angles together and finish.
Lucy Olsen with the ball, the leading scorer for the Hawkeyes, 18 points, will swing it.
It's been Crooks and Olsen, respectively.
Battling in the post. The foul is going to go against Williams as Crooks set to check back in for the Cyclones, as is Jackson, another starter.
I mean, you have 2 dynamic scorers for each of the teams. Crooks has been doing damage on the inside, and Olsen in that mid-range has just been terrific.
Looking for the mid-range again. That time it doesn't fall. Look at the hustle by the freshman Stremlo, ripping it away, but turned right back over. The Cyclones will try to settle down.
Everyone else had taken off down the court. Malone was there to relieve her after she killed her dribble.
Stremlo is feisty. The rare time you'll see Crooks bring it down.
Yeah.
She's looking for it in the post, being fronted by Stolke. Those two go back to their AAU days here in Iowa. It is Jackson, too strong from three.
Let's see if Iowa can get a touchdown inside to Stolke. I'd like to see that battle. That's what I had circled coming into this one, and they're matched up at this present moment.
Wasn't sure how much we would see with Stolke moving to the 4 this season. See if she can get it from the high post, too.
Double drag action.
Goes right into Crooks and is met by the brick wall. Back to the Cyclones.
Well, you can see that Iowa is trying to organize something to get Hannah Stolke downhill to attack Crooks on the move. Crooks walled up and stayed vertical on that one, out of bounds off of Stolke.
Full court pressure from the Hawkeyes with Olsen, Stremlo, and Aaliyah Guyton, the freshman, getting big minutes here in the fourth quarter against their rival.
Yeah, 1-2-2 right there from Iowa.
Crooks, one-on-one, usually hits that shot fading away in the paint. Olsen weaving through traffic.
Good composure here in the quarter court by Iowa, and see if they get a couple ball reversals. There's one. See if they can work this defense down a bit.
Stolke and Crooks one-on-one. She'll hand it off to Olsen, blocked along the baseline. It stays here with 9 to shoot.
Iowa State doing a good job of disallowing any paint touches, paint catches. Here's the block right here. Olsen with a swarm of Cyclones around her.
Stolke is going to reset along the perimeter. 5 to shoot for Guyton, who puts it on the floor. And she's fouled. That won't count.
This has been such a tough battle. Both teams doing what they do well. You see Iowa with 17 points off of turnovers, 16 of them to be exact. And then the paint points, a 30-18 advantage for Iowa State.
Neither of these teams have scored in 2+ minutes. Right before a falter wiggles her way into the paint.
Well, I love that. Steady Eddie.
Emily Ryan to the teeth of the defense and to the cup.
How about that? Emily Ryan said, give me the ball and get out of the way. That was a tough bucket.
She felt this crowd swell. The most experienced player on the floor took it in her own hands. There's a falter again. Inside. Gets it to go.
This rivalry is percolating right now.
Ryan battling the noise of this crowd to shout out the play. To Crooks, and she is fouled by Stolke. That is 3 on Hannah Stolke.
Sydney a falter for Iowa right here. A little step-through move, freezes the defense, and then steps it through again on that second play. It looks very similar. Hey, if they're not going to stop it, go right back to it. She did it twice. Let's see if she can do it in Sue Bird's word, thrice. Possession.
The falter has surpassed her season high now, 15.6 of 10 shooting. Maybe her best game of the season so far after she had a knee procedure just before the season started. Crooks will miss the second.
What did I say about those free throws earlier? I'm telling you, those possessions,
they haunt you.
Finish them.
Falter dropping it off to Stolke, and the Hawkeyes rolling, taking back the lead on their home court. Timeout called by Fenley and the Cyclones in this one-point game.
Iowa attacking the paint. That has been the calling card. The last 3 possessions, a Fulcher scored 2 of them, but this time, a little nice dive on the pick and roll with Hannah Stuelke finishing nicely with that left hand. Look at Hannah Stuelke saying, get up. 2 national championship games she was a part of. A handful of them have that kind of experience and bring that dynamic and that accountability and expectations of making those 2 deep runs in the tournament. It's in moments like these that experience shows up big time.
A 17-5 run for the Hawkeyes going back to the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll look at the shooting today for Iowa State as a Fulcher in the passing lane will take it herself against 2 Cyclones and back to Iowa State making the stop.
Jan Jensen won the foul on that shot.
Poked away by Stuelke. Still stays with Iowa State. One more try and again gets a piece. Hannah Stuelke climbing a ladder on defense.
Hannah Stuelke is just giving you everything that she has right now. Not 1 deflection, but 2. Just fighting to get over top and getting a deflection, disallowing touches inside for Crooks.
Emily Ryan, the only Cyclone that has played in this building, can't convert in the paint. The energy seized by the Hawkeyes under 4 minutes to play.
Oh, you can just feel it. It's scintillating right now. It's palpable. Both teams just want to come out of this game with a W.
Lucy Olson, the hesitation, the contact, and the finish. Count it.
Lucy Olson has been that girl, especially on this play. A much-needed bucket for the Hawkeyes. Her teammates love to see it.
Lucy Olson on about every watch list you can imagine, including the Nancy Lieberman Award for Best Point Guard preseason All-Big Ten. She loves these moments and gives her team a 4-point lead. Stuelke hit the deck. They go in the corner to Jackson. Tipped away. Steal by the Hawkeyes. Olson and Stuelke leading the way. Quick swing. Feuerbach decides against it. Wants to milk some clock.
Smart by Iowa to be patient here.
Stuelke draws the foul on the floor, trying to take Crooks off the dribble.
Well, they had a couple triple tries up there, but they didn't take them. Stayed composed. Lisa Bluder was a longtime coach here, and Jan Jensen was right by her side all those years, and you can see the worth for the wearers of that experience, having Lisa Bluder here.
Feuerbach misfires. Rebound to Brown. Again poked away by Stremlow. Trying to again cause a turnover.
Commit to grit. That's what the Iowa Hawkeyes have done in the last 4 or 5 possessions. No quit. Horn set here.
Going into the post to Crooks. The double team comes. Stremlow is chaos.
She's fired up too. She came running down the court, clapping it up. We knew that was a major play and a major stop.
That is a freshman getting huge minutes here in a top 25 rivalry battle and making the little plays. Takes a foul from Ronnie. That's going to be the 4th on Emily Ryan, the 2-time All-Big 12 point guard for the Cyclones.
Iowa has 11 steals in this game. Look at that. Stremlow getting low, getting all ball on that one, and she's fired up on the way back right in front of us. Clapping her hands and looking at the fans here.
Olson. 80% for the free throw line this season. That gives her 22. Coming off a game in which she had a season high 23 points, flirting with that again tonight.
See if they get a timeout here.
Coach Finley does exactly as you predicted, with Iowa now on a 9-0 run, leading 67-61, 2:10 to play. Comes down to these final 2 minutes and meeting the moment is the brand new Hawkeye, Lucy Olson, 23 points on 9 for 21 from the floor.
Now, she has been absolutely exceptional. She has picked her spots. She's not taking shots that Iowa State wants her to take. She is willing herself to her spots that she wants to take. And you've just felt that all game long with her. She will not be denied. She will not be dictated to. She will not be turned away from what she wants to do on the offensive end.
This coaching staff says she's so well versed, taking the big shot. She is ready and she is willing. And we are seeing that here tonight.
It's a big play here. Let's see what they come out of the timeout with.
Brown looking for the deep post up again. Stafalter has been quiet since the first quarter and puts it down with the hook shot.
Solid. Taking it to the middle, a little baby hook over the lip of the rim. Nice play call out of the timeout.
And that quiets this crowd, at least for the time being, under 2 to play with the Hawkeyes in control.
Iowa State may want to think about coming out of this zone because not really putting Iowa in much duress.
Olson will drive and kick, 3 seconds left. She knows it, puts up a shot that's left short. A falter with the position, and then draws the foul. A falter is frenetic on the glass.
Look at the shot right here off, but Sydney Falter just serpentined her way underneath of that zone. Brooks kind of fell on top of her. Kind of shaking off that fall as well as a falter.
That is 3 on Crooks. Brown still with 3. Emily Ryan with 4. As a falter at the free throw line now, 16 points, and what I think has been the best game of hers this season. A slow start, wasn't able to practice with all these new players. She's won 2 of 3 games against Iowa State. She says it's about composure. We have to play Iowa basketball, and they're trying to impose that here late.
She's had more than 8 rebounds in 4 consecutive games.
Into the offense goes Iowa State. Brown from the perimeter being hounded by a falter, a tenacious defender, and a travel called on Brooks, and Stolke enthused.
Let's take a look right here. You see Brown looking down inside to Crook. She catches it and then hops before that ball hits the deck. Got to put it on the floor first. 20 turnovers now for Iowa State.
Stolke took the chair out a little bit, let go of that pressure, and led to that too. Under 1 minute to play, it is a 5-point lead for the Hawkeyes. A team that's won 8 straight in this series at Carver Hawkeye Arena, 7 of the last 8 overall against the Cyclones. How about the freshman? Can't come up at a bigger time.
Simply magnificent. Iowa State stays in their zone, and they are helping so deep to that lane line that closeout to that triple try was much too late. So you have to, if you're zoning, you got to move on the flight of the pass and arrive on the catch and get a stick arm up to just try to do anything to disrupt the rhythm of the shot and get in that shot pocket, but just too late.
This coaching staff still managing Guyton's low. She tore her ACL as a senior last December, only made her Hawkeye debut November 24th. Was able to get a good amount of time when they were in Cancun. Coach Jan Jensen said, I don't know if we win against Rhode Island without her. She was handling the pressure, directing this offense, and what a shot for her to put down.
Yeah, that was big-time stuff. She only played in 4 games coming into this one, so just trying to get her rhythm.
43.4 seconds remaining. The lob it into Crooks, broken up by Stolke. We talk about Olsen rising to the moment. Stolke, the Iowa native out of Cedar Rapids, has done the same, especially on defense.
And that's the key to being a great post defender, is not allowing that body contact, staying loose, and getting yet another deflection is Hannah Stolke, operating with some fluidity with her footwork.
It was Addie O'Grady who had the original one-on-one assignment. We saw Audie Crooks go off for 27 points, but lockdown defense by Stolke on Crooks in this 4th quarter. Then the clutch free throws, and she and the Hawkeye faithful feeling it now.
She's been locked in.
Ryan, the reversal will go for a quick 2. 30.3 seconds on the clock. And a timeout called by the Hawkeyes to get settled. This is a Hawkeye team that allowed Tennessee to go on a 14-1 run to close that game. They want to make sure they're all on the same page.
Absolutely, and they're going to advance the ball, right? So they don't have to contend with any full court pressure. Jan Jensen said, you know, they have to do a better job of working against full court presses. And they'll probably see more of that. Didn't see a lot of that last year with Caitlin Clark, right? I mean, she was able to sliver her way through a lot of that.
It has been all Hawkeyes here in the 4th in what has been such a closely contested game. It's been within 1 possession every single quarter, but Iowa has seized control of this contest. The number 21 ranked team in the country, trying to go to 1-0 this season.
You have to know exactly where Iowa State wanted to go with that basketball. And Hannah Stolke sniffed it out, got a deflection yet again.
Foul is called without any time going off the clock. That's going to be the 3rd on Kelsey Jones into the starting lineup for Kenzie Hare. And free throws here for Olsen. So taking away any kind of half-court look is the direction the Cyclones decided to go here, down 73-65.
5 assists on the day for Olsen. Even though she had some gaudy scoring numbers with those 23 points, she was able to facilitate and really keep that engine running for Iowa.
Maybe more importantly, Christine, 0 turnovers.
How about that?
The point guard proving it tonight. In her first Cyhawk series, 24 points on 9 of 22 from the floor, as Iowa has methodically taken control of this game. Coming up, their Big Ten opener against a Michigan State team that is 6th in the net ranking. They're number 17 in the AP poll, but that is a dangerous team to go play in East Lansing. They will then play Northern Iowa, Christy, a team that beat Iowa State. They have one of the best scores in the entire country in Maya McDermott. She is 6th in the country, over 20 points per game. So that's very difficult back-to-back contests.
Yeah, no question about it. Michigan State off to one of their best starts in several seasons. Robin Freilich doing a tremendous job there.
Iowa State on the other side will play Eastern Illinois, then UConn.
How about that? And UConn sending some really a lot of love to Azzi Flood, who sprained her knee recently, won't be playing in their Notre Dame game coming up this week, and most likely will miss that game as well. So sending healing love to Azzi Flood there on that.
It seemed, at least from their comments, not too serious. It'll be week to week after that, so hopefully we will see her again in the near future. Meanwhile, the Cyclones trail by 9. Inside into Crooks, an easy 2 as they try to stave off what has been a long losing streak. They have not won in this building since 2006, but Iowa now the opportunity to just let it all run out.
Really solid performance by Iowa after a super slow start offensively. But they flipped a switch on that defensive end, dialed it in on that side of the court. Tie ball game at halftime, and then went on a nice surge here to close things out.
Jensen has been so proud of the strides her team has made defensively, and it's really anchored by Olsen and Feuerbach along the perimeter. They have great length, great effort, great tenacity, and that's what we have to talk about with Olsen when we look at her performance today too. Yes, 24 points, 5 assists, 0 turnovers, but defensively being a menace.
Yeah, I don't know how many deflections she had. And I know analytically they look at that in the plus-minus rankings that they do as coaches. I mean, she has to have at least 10 to 12 deflections in this game, so her activity has just been tremendous in this one.
Inside into Crooks. That's going to put her over 31 points. And let it be known, it's a Hawkeye State still. To 69, the final score in what was rarely even separated by more than one possession. It was the Hawkeyes who were able to be the driving force to close this one out, outscoring the Cyclones in the fourth quarter 22-13. Excellent job by Audie Crooks, nearing her season high. She finishes with 31 points on 14 of 22 from the floor, 10 rebounds as well. An unstoppable force. Coach Jensen says she is immovable, undoubleable, but it is the Hawkeye defense that is able to clamp down to take this victory. They have now won 9 straight in this series at Carver Hawkeye Arena. A streak that goes back to 2006 and make it now 8 of the last 9 overall in this series. Maybe a new era of Iowa Hawkeye basketball on the women's side, but that has remained the same.